Alright, so I'm going to do a quick review of the Bulletproof diet, which I've been on for about a week, and which I will not be continuing following to a T. A few things I liked about it, a few things I didn't like about it. Let's talk about what I did like about it. So I really like the idea of getting off of processed foods, off of artificial colors, artificial flavors. It's something that should have done a while ago. I feel like most people should do it. Um, I think that's probably where I felt the biggest change in my diet. The second thing I liked was the addition of MCT oil, or the medium chain triglycerides. I feel as the research outside of the book also supports the cognitive benefits of that, so I'm going to continue to use that as well. Um, I also liked the idea of intermittent fasting, so I'm going to start doing that probably once a week. Not for weight loss, just for the other benefits associated with it. There's a lot of research that points to really great health benefits, and so I'm going to start doing that about once a week. Um, and other than that, I mean, I like the idea that saturated fat is not the enemy. I mean, that's something that's been shown time and time again in a lot of research, that we've kind of been living a lie as far as saturated fat being the killer that it once was thought to be. So I'm going to start eating more butter, just not to, not in the extent that they have us doing in the coffee and whatnot. So things I didn't like about it, the coffee didn't really keep me full. So right there off the bat, that kind of screwed up my day. Um, I didn't think the diet was really all that clear as to how you're supposed to eat. I mean, I got it, what you're supposed to eat, and the increased fat, obviously lower carbohydrates, but we're talking about staying in ketosis, or fluctuating in and out of ketosis. But he is allowing 30 grams of carbohydrates, and then he mentions you can have 25 grams of fructose, which is carbohydrates, but then you're also allowed unlimited green vegetables, or at least 6 servings, he says. So I don't understand, and it didn't make it clear like how many carbohydrates you're supposed to eat. He's so anti-calorie counting, but at some point you have to kind of make that switch. So that kind of just frustrated the hell out of me. Um, I don't like the idea of only eating one macronutrient for breakfast. I might train a little bit harder than most people, but going and just putting fat in the diet is, in the morning, wasn't really cutting it for me. I feel like there is a need for all three macronutrients, um, in my breakfast at least. Um, so that aspect I didn't really like. And then the third thing is, I just really didn't like the guy. In his reading the book and listening to a couple of podcasts, he's kind of overwhelming. It kind of seems his way or the highway, and he quotes studies that are one-off studies in some cases. Um, so the methods in which he uses, he says that he brings MCT oil, butter, and salt to restaurants. Well, I'm not doing that. Like, who's going to do that, really? I agree eating grass-fed is the best, but like to the extent that he says that mold and things affect us, I mean, yes, but let's be realistic here. We can't eat, you know, straight from the earth in a lot of cases. I don't have the money to do it, so um, pushing that agenda on people was kind of off-putting, in my opinion. Um, all in all, it was a great experience. Like, I'm really happy I did it, and I'm going to continue with a higher fat diet, like I always have. I'll probably continue with about 50% fat, 15% carbs, and then fill in the rest with protein. So looking around 35-40% protein. Usually I eat a pound or a gram of protein per pound of body weight. It's kind of my rule of thumb. And as far as carbohydrates, it's all about timing. More carbohydrates when you're more active, before and after workouts. Another thing I want to take away from the diet is supplementing a couple of the vitamins that he talked about. I think that's a good idea. He's got some solid research behind that stuff. Um, but yeah, it was fun. And I mean, I'm always game to try different stuff, but this one is not a long term solution for me. And I think extreme in any direction, which this is definitely extreme, um, isn't good for the body. You know, we still got to go by the balanced diet. So there is a room for all three. I think a low carb diet is definitely healthier. So technically a high fat, but not quite to the extent as that he was pushing on us. Um, you know, and a healthy diet is actually extreme for most people because the norm has become so unhealthy that eating healthy seems extreme. But once you get to a healthy diet, I think the benefits will reveal themselves. So that was my experience. I'm going to take some things away from it, and better my diet and hopefully my performance. Um, I would love to debate anything. Let's talk about it. How to work for you, and yeah, that's it. Thanks.